Frost Ark, Book 1, The Fire Mage Trilogy, by Kate Bloomfield. Chapter 1, Flight of the Fire Mage. I sat, perched upon my windowsill, contemplating what I was about to do. Would they miss me? How long would it be before they noticed I was gone? It was the dead of night, and the hawthorn tree outside my window swayed a little in the wind. With one last glance at my bedroom, I launched myself from the window, the gravel crunching noisily as I landed. It took only 10 minutes to walk into the heart of Mortlock. The cottages were dark and silent. I was determined to follow the road that would lead me out of this town, to the nearest city. As I passed the town square, a rather wonderful sight met my eyes. A man was tethering horses to a large cart that looked old and worn from overuse. The man seemed to hear my footsteps, for he looked over his shoulder as I approached. I recognized him at once as an acquaintance of my father's. Jefferson, I believed his name was. "If it isn't Avalon Redden," said the old man. I stopped a few feet short of him. "Jefferson," I acknowledged. "What are you doing out so late? It's not safe, you know." "Where are you going?" I asked, ignoring his question. I knew Jefferson was in the delivery business, and constantly on the move, but he came back to Mortlock every week or so for a few nights before heading off again. Jefferson tightened the reins of a horse before replying. "Frost Ark, then off to other little towns." I had heard the key word. "Room in your cart for more cargo?" I asked. "Eh?" Jefferson looked at me curiously. "I was wondering if I could ask a favour of you, Jefferson." I knew I must choose my words carefully. Jefferson took a step closer. His horses snorted impatiently and began chewing on the grass. "I need a ride, and by the looks of it, you were just about to be on your way." Jefferson's face fell, and he eyed me up and down. I could tell what he was thinking. Well, I don't see why not. Are you safe?" he asked. I felt like kicking him in the shins. I tapped my foot impatiently. "I won't set your cargo on fire." Jefferson nodded, though he didn't look too thrilled about the idea of having an 18-year-old fire mage being confined in a wooden carriage for many hours. "So you'll help me then?" I prompted. All right, Jefferson said. "Hop in the cart. Don't mind the smell or the noises coming from the box at the back." "Thank you," I breathed. My heart was pounding wildly in my chest. This was it. I felt my eyes begin to mist up immediately, and I tried to hold it back. I couldn't let Jefferson see me lose control, or he would never let me into his carriage. I clambered onto the back as my eyes began brimming with molten tears. I sat at the back of the cart and took a deep, calming breath. It was a little cramped. There were several crates, and it smelled of hay and horsehair. I heard Jefferson scramble onto the seat at the front of the carriage, reins in his hands. I breathed deeply, and the carriage began to move. Within a minute, we had rounded a corner, and Mortlock was no longer in sight. The gentle swaying and trotting echoed through my body. I felt like an empty shell. I had run away without any goodbyes. I hoped my family would understand. Mortlock wasn't home to any other fire mages. This meant that my family and I were outsiders. My mother and father had cursed me with their fire-starting gift. The only good thing about being part of a family of fire mages is you don't run the risk of accidentally murdering your family in a deadly inferno. That was until my little sister Helena was born. We expected her to be a fire mage like the rest of us, but Helena hadn't shown any signs that she was a mage of any kind at all. This was terrifying for my family, not only because it was dangerous for her to be living in a house where fires often occurred, but also for another reason entirely. Those who are void of power are called humans, pre-apocalyptic beings that have been dying out for the past 1,000 years and are only used for one purpose: slavery. We were positive she would be taken away from us if anyone ever found out. No one had ever heard of someone with a mage bloodline being totally void of power. We had spread rumours that Helena was fragile and sickly, so no one would wonder why she never left our home. It would only be a matter of time before the realm of mages found out that Helena was a human living amongst them as an equal. The realm was there to ensure that no human ever posed a threat to our way of life. It's a widely known fact that the realm does not tolerate kindness to humans. If you defy the realm, then you'll be slaughtered. My entire family, including myself, faced this fate just by keeping Helena a secret. This is why I ran away.